Oh boy, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another episode of Dropping Dimes with Mr. Dugai. Oh man, and today I'm going to talk about the increasing pressure. You have LSU coach Ed Orgeron is facing a lot of heat for LSU's loss to the Auburn Tigers, and he took full responsibility for that loss. I'm gonna just give my thoughts on what I think about LSU as a team and Coach O. Is he truly on the hot seat or not? Before I get into this video, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, I'm gonna have all that information down in the description box. May not always get a chance to respond to questions and comments on these videos, so feel free to DM me. Whenever I get a chance to, I'll get back at you. Come holler at your boy. Also, if you a Madden 22 player on Xbox One, I'm gonna have my Xbox One gamer tag down in the description box also. Y'all gonna hear a little beeping noise throughout the video, so please disregard it, and I apologize for the inconvenience. All right, man. A lot of people are coming for Coach O's head right now after LSU just had a brutal loss to the Auburn Tigers on Saturday, and I'm one of those people, yo. I'm not gonna hide from that. I'm one of those people who have real concerns with the LSU program under Coach O long term. Uh, Saturday was unacceptable. Like you cannot lose. First off, LSU don't lose at home to Auburn for one. For two, you cannot lose a game where you have a third. Coach O was actually I think 40-1 when having a lead at halftime. You had a two possession lead with the ball in the fourth quarter, and we can't close it out, and that has people extremely frustrated, and people have a right to be extremely frustrated with that. That is not LSU football. The fact that LSU can't run the football a lick is not LSU football. And it all starts with Coach O, yo. Like, look, a lot of people who are against him are going to look back to 2019 and say that was all Jambalaya Joe Burrow and all Joe Brady. Like, they ain't had, and Dave Aranda, like, they ain't had nothing to do with him. So, last year was, I feel like, a throwaway year as far as I think when you win a national championship, you get one year where, you don't quite meet expectations. And he used that year quickly. Like, we went 5-5, and he fired pretty much all his coaches, and brought in new coaches. And you're really, I mean, though the defense is a little improved, you're really not getting much different results like that as far as, um, as far as making a real threat and being real competitive on a national scale. So for me, should Coach O be on the hot seat? I think he has to be right now. But I'm gonna say this: I give him a chance to fix it. Now, fixing it is not easy, but I think it's possible. For me, Coach O has a 5 game stretch that I think will determine his fate as the LSU to be the LSU coach next season. This year is a wash. Like it's nothing this year. Everything we wanted to play for obviously is gone now with the 2 losses. But I feel like Coach O has a stretch of games where he has a chance to, keep his job going in the next season. Like, let's get it out of the way. UL Monroe, that's a win. Like, I mean, LSU could basically put a blindfold on and win that game. Like, let's just all due respect to UL Monroe, great, good program, but they're not beating LSU in Death Valley. Alabama on the road, like, let's keep it real. Alabama could play that game blindfolded, and LSU is not beating Alabama in Alabama, and that hurts me to say because I really can't stand that team. But let's just get those 2 games out the way: a win against UL Monroe, a loss against Alabama. Now we're looking at 3 losses for LSU. LSU has 5 games that are going to determine if Coach O returns or not. 5 toss-up games, games where LSU may be slightly favored or slightly underdogs 5 games that LSU could potentially go 5-0, or games where LSU could potentially go 0-5. I think these games are what's going to determine Coach O's fate, and it starts Saturday at Kentucky. Look, at Kentucky, LSU is a more overall talented team. LSU has more talented skill. Now Kentucky, I'm sure like everybody is going to be better at the line of scrimmage. I know they got a nose tackle that's wreaking a lot of havoc out there, especially against Florida. But LSU has better skill position players than Kentucky. But the game is on the road. You look at the game next week against Florida, which is going to be an 11 a.m. Central kickoff, which goes to show you how bad LSU is. Like to have this game against Florida in Death Valley at 11 in the morning, that just shows you LSU is not that great this year. Now, this is a game that LSU could win. Florida is not the same team on the road as it is at home. But at the same time, Florida is a talented team that went toe to toe with Alabama, though it was at home. You look at Ole Miss on the road. Ole Miss is a team that doesn't really play a lot of defense. If LSU could, I feel like Keyshawn Boutte set the SEC record against them last season with receiving yards. But at the same time, they have a offense that is, with unless you play in Alabama or Georgia, it's pretty much unstoppable. How will LSU stop them? You know, you skip the Bama game, then you look at the last two. You got Arkansas at home. Another team that LSU overall is more talented. They got a very, very talented wide receiver, but overall LSU is more talented than them. But at the same time, Arkansas honestly may be a little better coach than LSU and may be more physical. Then you got Texas A&M, who I told people before the season started, I thought was severely the most overrated team in the country, coming in with a number 5 ranking. Obviously, you know, that's still true. They already lost 2 games, going to get their butts whipped this week against Alabama. They're coming in with an anemic offense where they can't move the ball or score at all. But at the same time, they got Jimbo Fisher. They got a good defense for the most part. So those are 5 games that LSU could win. Those are 5 games LSU could lose. LSU runs the table, win that. LSU is 9-3. Nobody's mad. Like, you know, everybody's going to look at it like, all right, we're going to give him a chance. He got a chance to fix this issue. He got a good recruiting class coming in next year. He got a good lineman like Will Campbell. Maybe he solidifies one of the tackle spots from day one. You got Max Johnson going to be a year older, as a more experienced as a quarterback, or you know, you go with the young, talented Walker Howard coming in. Keyshawn Boutte will probably be the best receiver in college football. The running back should be like Connor, and Goodwin will be a year older. You know, you're gonna lose Stingley, but you're gonna have Ricks as probably the top corner in the country. You know, you're gonna have a lot of resources, a lot of talent. So you finish 9-3. Nobody's mad. Everybody's on board. Everybody is positive looking in the next season, especially if you're 9-3 and you somewhat competitive with Alabama. Then you go 8-4, which I think people will not be thrilled, but I think that will buy Coach O at least another season. So you go 8-4. I think that buys Coach O another season with everything that I just mentioned coming back and him having a chance to actually fix this thing. Honestly, 7-5, 6-6 or worse, I think he's gone. I think he's done. So for me, Coach O in the 5 stretch of games, not in a row, but just as a collection of games. The Kentucky game this Saturday on the road, the Florida game at home next week, the Ole Miss game on the road, the Arkansas and Texas A&M games at home. Coach O has to go 4-1. Or can't go no worse than, has to either go 5-0 or 4-1 in those 5 games, yo. We give UL Monroe as a win, Alabama is a loss. In those 5 games, for me, Coach O has to go no worse than 4-1. Now look, 4-1, you take care of home, unlike you did Saturday, you take care of your home games. You beat A&M, Arkansas, and Florida at home. You split one of the 2 road games with Kentucky and Ole Miss. You do that, I think Coach O will be back next year. But if Coach O messes around and goes 3-2 in those games, lose both those road games to Kentucky and Ole Miss, or lose them, or lose a couple of those home games, or again or whatever, I think that's gonna be the end of them, yo. Like so, for Coach O, this Saturday is important. You have to in those 5 games, Coach O has to go 4-1 or 5-0. I feel like to come back to have his job coming in the next season. 3-2 or anything less or under 500 in those games, I think LSU will have a new coach next season. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I'm gonna have LSU and NCAA content throughout the year. Also, this coming tonight and every Monday from 6 p.m. Central to 7 p.m. Central, I'm gonna do a live Q&A. Y'all come on there, ask me anything, tell me anything. I'll answer your questions, respond to your comments, and give you a shout out on the live. Excuse me, y'all should join me. There'll be some good stuff. Also on Sundays and every Sunday from 10 a.m. Central to 12 p.m. Central, I co-host Big Time Sports Talk with Mike the Bandit. Y'all download the ESPN 1420 app. Got a lot of LSU discussion on that show. So make sure y'all tune in, yo. Until then, y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers.